Hey guys, this is Pushkraj and welcome to Straight Talk. And today I'm going to talk about a topic which has been very much in the media lately, and that is nepotism. Alright? It's very funny to me because nepotism is a topic that we all are extremely hypocritical about. Everybody is up in arms shouting about nepotism being bad and nepotism being this, and this guy's is full of nepotism, ban his movies, do this, do that. But honestly, if you ask yourself, are you not guilty of nepotism yourself? Like, I don't need to point fingers at others. I'll look at myself. I hate nepotism. Alright? But that is pretty much how the world works. In Hindi there's a kahavat, Raja ka beta Raja. Right? So we have been issued that since ages, and it's not just that it was issued culturally. It is how society has always worked. People tend to emotionally favor the people they are in touch with. Bollywood just becomes a major issue because Bollywood is more popular, it's out there, it's a high stakes game, it gives you immense popularity, immense fame, and it's what everybody from a small town is dreaming of, that one day I'll be on this big screen and I'll have these people fawning over me, I'll be a fucking celebrity. And it's that which actually pushes nepotism in Bollywood to look like such a big thing. Name a single profession where nepotism does not exist. Alright? People would say defense forces nepotism does not exist. I would ask you, really? Do you know people in defense? Do you know how it works? Even today, if a fireman dies, his quota is reserved for his son if he wants to join the forces. Isn't that nepotism? It is, right? Again, it's not entirely a bad thing. For example, a doctor's son is more likely to become a doctor. Guy who is a top head honcho in an ad agency, his child or his nephew, niece is more likely to get an internship immediately in that agency. Okay? And a filmmaker, for that example, his son, who has been around the sets since his childhood, has learned the tricks of the trade at home, never actually went to film school but has studied how it works and how the business is run. He's more likely to become a filmmaker himself. And I actually do not see anything wrong with that unless it starts really cutting out talent. And when that happens, even nepotism actually does not work. There are so many star kids who got amazing launches but are nowhere today. Is nepotism saving their asses? No, it isn't. Because at the end of the day, even your most nepotismic filmmaker will think about the bank balance. Is this working for me? The reason casting star kids works in Bollywood is because the Indian public is blindly in love with their stars and even their kids. Tomorrow when Shah Rukh Khan's son comes in a movie, all Shah Rukh Khan fans are going to go watch that movie because it's Shah Rukh Khan's son's movie. They don't give a shit what the story is, who the director is, or what the songs are, or whatever. That is the power of stardom in India. And unless you change that, you can't expect nepotism to change in the industry. No point randomly just picking up a topic and shouting about it because it's popular. And oh, I hate nepotism, I hate it. Yes, everybody hates nepotism unless it's in your favor. Alright? I have personally been extremely against nepotism. I have always put merit first. But to an extent, I am also guilty of nepotism. In a way that when I'm shooting stuff, when I'm shooting ad films, when I'm shooting campaigns, I always favor the people who have paid for my services previously, who have worked with me, who have done pro bono work with me. They don't have to be my family, they don't have to be my friends, but they just have to be people that I have previously worked with and I know them on a personal basis, because these are the people who stood by me when I was nothing. So today when I have the capacity to be something and do something for them, and have a comfort of equation of working with them, why would I not work with them? I'll give you an example of how things can go terribly wrong, okay, if you don't stick to nepotism in an industry as fucked up as filmmaking. So there was a TV series that was supposed to be shot, and the producing brand put in a celebrity from their end. So this was a celebrity that I personally wasn't managing, I personally hadn't dealt with, I hadn't approached, I hadn't drawn up the contract with. And this person causes delays and then walks out towards the end of the shoot, leaving one entire episode unshot. Now, why would I put up with this bullshit? The next time I shoot a TV show, I get a star cast that I know is extremely good to work with, does not throw shitty star tantrums, does not have ego issues, respects time, and at the same time understands if there's an issue and cooperates with me to help solve it. Extremely good example of when I was shooting the brand campaign for Avatar. I had my friend Rini Das as one of the models, and the shoot on day, she was supposed to shoot on day one, and the shoot on day one got pretty extended, went pretty late, so we couldn't finish her shot on day one. She did not throw a single tantrum. I just asked her, like, Rini, could you please come in the next day? I just need to finish a few shots with you tomorrow because today this is just not possible. And she came in the next day. No tantrums thrown, no dramatics. So, was it nepotism that I favored her for my shoot? Of course it was. Did it help me a lot? Of course it did. And that is exactly how it works. Why would you put up with shit that you do not know with? Why would you put up with people who have not been by you when you were down and struggling? When you are on to something that could really affect your life, your finances, and your career. Let's talk about, let's make this a little wider, right? Nepotism, it doesn't happen in the same field itself either. For example, the son of a major son of a CEO of a major brand, okay, wants to get into advertising. All right. Now the CEO tells a top ad agency that, oh, my son wants to get into advertising. Why don't you take him as a fucking intern? And to lick his ass, agency obviously is like, all right, our tongues are out, and immediately hire this guy as an intern, despite this guy being a complete fucking nincompoop. Tell me that does not happen. Of course it does. So, I got my internships the extremely hard way when I was in advertising. Alright? I had no godfather. My father is from a completely different industry, completely on the other side of the legal fence actually. So for me to make it in advertising was a very, very, very tough thing. Because fuck, I wouldn't even get a step into agencies. Because I didn't have the contacts. I didn't have anybody to put in a word of favor for me, nothing. I could not afford a high funda education, which would immediately grant me direct meetings into placements with advertising agencies. I literally had to work 2 different small agencies to build my first portfolio to get into an ad agency, because I did not have a computer at home, I did not have a printer at home. I had to work at the agencies I had to work at. I had to understand what a portfolio is. I had nobody to guide me. I built my own portfolio. The first time I went to an agency, I got shot down saying that this is not a portfolio. Luckily, I learned. Second time I went with a proper portfolio, and that is how I eventually got into an agency, a decent agency, a top level agency. Otherwise, I would have still been struggling. At the same time, I know a person whose parents are high fundu people who have contacts directly with the NCDs of big agencies, who just drop in a word, oh, my XYZ is looking for a placement, could you just fix something? And like, yeah, send him for an interview, blah blah blah, goes in, gets it, is already working there. Now this person comes from a rich family. For them, money is not important. I was paying for my own fucking education. So I cannot afford to intern for free at that point in time. So I had to pick up jobs that paid me money. Whereas these people who come from rich houses are like, okay, I'm just doing this for an internship. I'll get the stamp of this company on my profile, and then I'm up and ready to move to another company and then ask for a salary. So that is pretty much how nepotism works in every field. It doesn't matter. It's always the haves versus the have-nots. But that doesn't mean you stop doing what you love. Because eventually, you will reach a brink where your hard work and talent has the opportunity to overcome these fuckers who have had everything in the first place. And you need to hold on to that. And while you hold on to that, you need to be very careful about one thing. Do not be an asshole and do not antagonize people. Alright? Make friends, make contacts, find mentors. Mentors and finding mentors is the one thing that can literally make or break you in any and every field. Like in Bollywood, it's pretty popular for people to say, "Oh, mera koi godfather nahi. I have no godfather in the industry." But I think that's a whole load of bullcrap. Everybody has some kind of godfather or mentor who has given them their break, who has found their talent, who has given them their shot, who has guided them and kept them from making mistakes. And if they haven't found such a person, they really need to, because unless they do, they are bound to make mistakes that will chop their own foot off, because they haven't seen the industry around, unlike the star kids of people who have grown in this industry, who know how it operates. So to keep you from making those same mistakes, to guide you with the ropes, you really, really, really need a mentor, godfather, or whatever you call it, teacher. Personally in life, I have always been lucky to have the best teachers in every field I have chosen. I'm a learning freak. I love learning. I keep learning new things. But in every field I've chosen to learn, I have not only found the most talented teachers, I have also found the teachers who are great human beings, which is extremely important to me. Because I don't want just a high-flying career or to be a great shot at something. I want a balance in my life. I want to be a good human being, and that is what I treasure more than anything else. And it entirely depends on your priorities. I know people who don't give a shit about being a good human being, and they can choose mentors who do not personify that. But ideally, when you're choosing a mentor or a guide, make sure you choose people with whom, on some level, your sense of morality and ethics and life perspective matches, because that is where you will be most comfortable with. That is where you will naturally gel with without having to make any extra efforts, which can be called ass licking. Alright? It has to be natural. Your bond with your mentor or your coach or your guru has to be real. And the more real it is, the more genuine it is, the more non-judgmental you are regarding a lot of things, the easier it will be for you. I do not say be spineless, but then when you are learning, keep your judgment level at a low, your learning level at a high, and no matter how much nepotism is there in that industry, eventually you will be able to rise through and do good. And that is the only way to do it. And even if you don't rise up and do good, if there's something that you love and you're passionate about, just do it. Just do it, because it's not, everything is not about victories and laurels and how much money you make. It's a lot about happiness and contentment and how beautiful you feel about yourself in life. And as long as you have food on your table and roof on your head and you're doing the things you love, I think you have a beautiful life, and you should definitely pursue that. So that's all I have to say about nepotism. If you think my views do not match with your perspective of nepotism, or you have a different perspective on this, please happily share your perspective below. Leave it in the comments. Write to me about it. I'm always happy to listen. I'm just sharing my opinions and my thoughts on the topic. Obviously, there's no expert on nepotism here. It's not like nepotism is a fucking field taught with a PhD. These are just my simple opinions and experiences on the topic and that I've spoken about. And hopefully it helps you look at it in a more sensible manner rather than just being angsty about it, which will eventually just depress you if you are being on the wrong side of the nepotismic fence. Alright, this is Pushkraj Shirke, and this was Straight Talk. See ya and take care.